Hey, how you going? Back again for round two. Had some good feedback on the convenience food challenge. So this one I'm actually going to up it up a little bit, the ante, and we're going to do something that I call mirror my meal. So I'm kind of actually going to step you through a dish. The one we're going to do is actually a gnocchi with a carbonara sauce. Gnocchi actually translates to a knot of wood, and when you see the little gnocchi, and you've seen them in the supermarket, I'm sure you've ordered them in restaurants possibly, it is like a little knot. So we're going to actually go through that step by step, making the dough, and then I'll show you how to make a really nice carbonara sauce. Very simple, and we're going to go through right now. Let's go. And so I'll just go through this really quickly, what we've got, and then we'll put the quantities and ingredients and the recipe at the end of the video anyway. So obviously with the potato gnocchi we need potatoes. King Edwards are a very good potato. These are just your basic washed ones from Woolies. It just needs to be a high starch content, so make sure you look at it, it says if it's good for mashing, then that's what we're after. Okay, I have the flour, so we've got about 100 grams of flour here. 3 eggs, you'll need for both, 2 for the sauce and 1 for the actual potato gnocchi. I have about a cup of cream, olive oil. We have 2 lots of Parmesan cheese, 30 grams each. So they're basically, one's going to be for garnish. I really want to shade that on top, and the other one will go through the carbonara sauce. We have an onion, half an onion we're going to use. I won't use all of them, and I'll show you how to dice that shortly. I've also put a little bit of thyme in there, because we all have a lot of thyme at the moment. Okay, especially being at home. We have 2 garlic cloves here. I'll crush those up. Some lovely sea salt, and then also your cracked pepper. And last but not least is obviously your bacon. You can go any other kind of smoked small woods, your pancetta or something like that. It's really up to you what you want to put in there. I'm just going to use the rind bacon, and we'll go from there. Just turn your oven to 180, depending on your oven. A little bit of fan force if you can, so it circulates around the potatoes. We're just going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to bake the potatoes for the gnocchi. It's much easier, and I just find it, you don't get it as much water through it, and it's not so soggy. So just lay your potatoes down like that. And we're going to cook those for about 40 minutes to an hour. Or some people actually dice them, peel, dice, and cook them in the water. I just find the latter, you absorb a lot of moisture into the potato, so then you're going to find you need more flour at the end to actually mix through the potato to stiffen up the gnocchi base, and then you just find it's very doughy. You want a very light, fluffy gnocchi. So many people think you're actually kneading bread or a dough. That's not the case. You want to make it nice and light with a lot of air through it, so it actually puffs up in the water. Okay, what we're going to do first is just get the ingredients ready for the carbonara sauce. You need everything in place, and it's known as mise en place in the industry. We've got the thyme here, fresh thyme. I have the garlic cloves. I have the onions. So with the thyme, what we're going to do, we've got plenty of time for this, is just strip off the thymes off the stalks. These are fantastic if you're making stocks or gravies. You can freeze the stalks down if you want to, keep those. And I'm just going to do a really small dice, so I'm just running the knife up and down, okay, and just once again just a fine chop, ready to go like so with the thyme. Okay, when you press it like so, it will just slide out of the clove, okay, and then the clove has no clothes on. Anyway, so basically let's just move along after that lovely little chef joke. Alright, so we're just here, going to put a little bit of sea salt on top there. Once again, I showed you how to do this in the last YouTube clip. Slice it. So it's slice, dice, and then paste. That's how I generally work. Okay, so just like this, then just get it into a small dice, rocking the knife. Okay, like so. And as it gets smaller, you can then start to actually use the tip of your knife to flatten this paste down. And then, so, once again, don't waste my time. Let's go. Okay, crush, press, and then I just grind. You can hear the salt. Just go a little nice slices like so. Like this. usually just go one through and we're done. Beautiful. Remove the rind. It's not going to cook, it's not going to break down. Okay, that can go to the chooks. We're going to just do a little baton. Okay, so a little baton. So what I'm going to do is just run the chef's knife like through here. So we've got our strips, turn it around, and then you're just going to just slice the bacon like so into a little battens.
With a microplane or a grater, just grate the parmesan finely.
Let's get started with the liaison. Now, the liaison is just an egg and cream mix. So basically, it's almost like a scrambled egg mix, but it's going to set the carbonara. 1 egg, okay, into a bowl. We need just the yolk, so you just want to get rid of the egg white and just roll it from side to side, okay? The reason why we're doing this, you really want that yellow through the sauce, and too much egg white will actually become quite lumpy and it's almost like a scrambled egg. We don't need that. Put out 1 egg, an egg yolk in there with the cream. Just going to pour it into the jug and then put it with the rest of my mise en place ingredients. Let's get cooking. Alright, so we've got the potatoes here, they're nice and soft. You want to actually work them into the dough while they're warm. So we've got them now. I'm just going to cut them lengthwise, like so. So what we're doing is just a dessert spoon's fine, just run it through. Everybody usually has one of these at home, a sieve or a strainer, and all you do is just work it through with a spoon. It's a little bit time consuming. Just scrub this off. You go 1 egg yolk. You always go about 1 yolk to about 500 grams of potato. So 2 yolks for the kilo. A little bit of sea salt. Use the sea salt, the flakes, they're beautiful. They give a little bit of texture, and then it's just a lot better flavour than your iodized salt. Add the flour gently and lightly. We're going to start mixing this in. Okay, so we're just using usually the back of your hand, I find even with pasta doughs, makes it a lot easier and you're not getting it all over your fingers. So we're just going to dust the bench. Okay, wife will kill me. Flour everywhere, and I'm just gently working this now into a dough. Don't work it too hard. And now we're going to start making the gnocchi. One thing you really need to do is make sure you wash your hands to remove any of this residue. You don't need that, okay, because it just sticks to the dough. A little bit more flour there and we're going to get started. Nice, you can see that looks beautiful. Very nice and light, it's fluffy. And we're just going to now roll each of these out. What I do, I just work from the center and work out to get it to the thickness I'm after. Okay, like so. You need to work it fairly quick. You don't want the starch to cool down, so get it to about 1.5 centimetre diameter, the actual roll. You can see that's coming together quite good. Same thing here, I'm just going to roll this out. Might move that one up there. Okay, so we're just going to work this out, get it into the size roll we're after. So we're just going to make them fairly close. They look good. I haven't worked it too hard by doing this. You're not pressing it down or working that too much. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to cut these. I use a palette knife. It's not sharp, so it's not going to ruin the bench. And we're just going to work through. I'll just make sure it's clean. And we're going to cut them into portions like so, about 1.5 centimetres. If it gets a little bit sticky, just get a bit of flour on your palette knife, make it a lot easier. Okay, so now we're going to make these little gnocchi. I've got a tray here, baking paper. Use the baking paper, it makes it so much easier. We can put them on there and then we can go and cook it. The stove is on, the pot is still boiling there. So all we're going to do is, I like to actually roll them into a little footy. So you just come around like so, and then just a little bit of a thing like that. So I go into a circle like that, and then I just cup my hands and just roll them like that. Two methods of doing the gnocchi. So we've got the paddle, the traditional paddle with the grooves in there that put the lines in the gnocchi. Or you can just use the fork and you just press down and roll the gnocchi off like so. So you're just pressing down and letting it slide off the fork. The other way is just using the gnocchi board, paddle, you just press down and slide them off like that. You really want to scoop it. Okay, make sure you've got a bit of flour on the board. You want to scoop it so it actually causes a little indent, and that's what our sauce is going to sit in. Okay, it makes such a big difference Okay, so I'm just rolling my thumb down like so, and it's just curling like a nice shell. We've got our gnocchi here ready to go. It's on the baking paper so we can easily remove it. Water's boiling. We're going to now cook these off and put them in a bowl with some olive oil, just a little bit, just to stop them sticking. As you can see, that's the one with the paddle. This is with the fork. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to now place these in, and actually that reminds me of a song I used to know.
Knock, knock, gnocchi on my kitchen floor. I can't use you anymore.
Just do about 10 at a time. So they've come to the surface. You can use a basket if you want. It's really up to you. Into there with olive oil. Okay, I'm just going to scoop these out. Okay, we're going to start cooking this gnocchi off. There's a little bit of olive oil in there, as you can see. And let's get started. There's actually the onions are going to go in now. As I say to the students, you should be able to hear the food cooking away in your nose. Okay, garlic onions are in there, bacon goes in now. Now we're just going to cook that off. I don't want it too crispy, okay, but you do want a little bit of colour to it, okay? So I'm just going to cook that for a bit. In the meantime, I've put my plate in the oven, always hot food, hot plate. So I'm starting to crispy the bacon up a bit, so you can crisp. Always modify your heat. Luckily with gas you can turn it straight off and the heat's gone. Okay, so what we're going to do, it's ready to go, bacon, garlic to that. My gnocchi is going in now. Okay, we're going to flip it around. I'm now going to add my liaison, the creamy mix, which is basically an egg mix. Okay, we're just going to put the rest of that in. Right, lastly but not least is the parmesan. Goes in. Now at this stage, just turn it down a fraction or pull it off the heat. You just want to cook the eggs and then that's it. Once it's hot enough, otherwise you're going to curdle and it'll separate. All right, so there we go. We have our gnocchi there. It's ready to go. I'm going to now serve it up on the plate. Okay, so there you have it. There's a potato gnocchi, the carbonara, freshly made. So it's a lot different than actually buying the pre-packaged stuff. You can actually cook that off and put it in Ziploc bags with a little bit of oil, and they'll last for a few days in the fridge. Okay, there you go. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, that reminds me of my childhood memories.
Mum, the gnocchi's almost ready for